Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'd like to show you how I made this really useful rolling storage box for underneath my workbench to make use of some dead space. As you can see, it's really useful and you can store loads of stuff in here out of the way. So here is the area where the box is finally going to go underneath a workbench. And here is a drawing I made with the dimensions on, so if you'd like to copy this, you can pause the video now. The main thing I'll be using for this project is some scrap chipboard, which is 15mm thick. I started off with the table saw, ripping down the lengths I need to make the 4 sides. Then I used the speed square and a pencil to mark up the lengths that I need. And to cut these out, I'll be using the table saw and the miter gauge. I could cut 2 pieces at the same time here. I have them clamped up on the miter gauge and I got some really nice accurate cuts doing this. And that left me with 2 long bits and 2 short bits. Then I could just draw a line to mark up where I'll need to drill pilot holes for the screws. And then I equally spaced some markings ready to drill pilot holes. Then I used a countersinking bit to countersink the holes. Now it's time to assemble the 4 sides. I'm going to use plenty of glue on these butt joints, and there's going to be 3 screws in each corner. Then I could wipe off the excess glue with a cloth. Now for the handle, I'm going to be using this old towel rail that I found thrown out for the scrap man. And to help me position it, I'm going to be using the combination square, 2 of those
vertical and horizontal. That makes everything much easier. Then I could just mark up to drill some holes. I'm going to be using bolts to secure the handle. I'm drilling holes that roughly match the diameter of the bolt shafts, so there'll be a nice tight fit. Now I just need to make sure everything is square, and I can add the base. So for the base, I'm going to be using some, I think it's about 11 or 12 mil OSB board, and I'm just using a pen there and drawing around the sides as a template, and then I can cut out the base with a handsaw. Again, I'm adding plenty of glue here, and I'll be adding plenty of screws. To make sure I don't get any tear out or splitting of the chipboard, I'm drilling pilot holes for every screw. These are just 1-inch screws, so I'm going to be using plenty of these. So now I want to cut some trim for the top so that the box is a bit more durable and hard wearing. I've got some old pine here that is the same thickness as the chipboard, so I just need to cut a few strips off, and then I'm going to add some mitered corners onto this. So now I'm just marking that up. Chipboard tends to chip quite easily, so this will prevent any chipping around the top edge. I could then set the miter saw to a 45-degree angle and make the cuts. And again, I'm adding plenty of glue, and I'm going to secure it with screws. Now it was time to give it all a sanding down with a 120 grit sandpaper. and I wanted to give it all a coat of grey emulsion to match the colour theme inside the workshop, and just to make it look a bit tidier because it is scrap materials. Now I could add some casters on. Again, using the combination square to help me to position the casters, and then marking up to drill some little pilot holes for the screws. Finally, I could get the handle added. For that, I'm using the bolts, washers and nuts. And the casters worked great. So now I just needed to get it loaded up with some less frequently used salvaged hardware.
Okay, so that is about it for this video. I'm happy with how it's turned out in the end. I've just used scrap materials mainly, just using what I had lying around. It's quite sturdy and strong, it holds plenty of stuff. It's making really good use of that dead space that I've got down under my workbench, and these are all things that I don't need to go to too often. So when I do, I can just roll this out and pick out whatever I need. Really handy and useful. So if you did like this video, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more DIY related videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.